Hey everybody, it's Ringing Worm here. Today we're going to do some new videos, some videos I haven't done before. We're going to take a look at some of my statues that I have in my collection. Now, the great part about statues is they give you an opportunity to supplement your collection at a more affordable price depending on the statue. So the larger you get, obviously the more expensive you get. But when you're looking at some of the statues like the one that I have right now on the screen, they get a little bit more affordable. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we do, just remember, guys, I need likes and shares on my channel. And the most important thing, if you don't want to like and share it, please provide feedback. I love to know what you think of the videos and what I can maybe do better to improve upon it. But we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so here we go, guys. We've got some great figures that I'm going to be reviewing over the next few weeks. Hopefully they'll be shorter than the other ones, because the great part about these statues is there's not much to them. You know, I don't have to worry about posing them or anything else like that. They're pretty much what they are. So, you know, the main forum of my videos is why collectors collect and kind of how you get these items and whatnot. So this is a DC collectible. It's put out by, I believe, the DC company itself. There's, you know, there's a line of them. They have a certain amount. So I'll just go ahead and bring the box into the screen right here. As you can see, it says DC Comics CoverGirl, Supergirl statue. It's a numbered limited edition. That means like it's stamped with a limited edition. Anyway, it has on it some other figures that you can collect if you want to, whatnot. This is more, to be 100% honest with you, for, I hate saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway, especially in the climate today's world, but this is more, in my opinion, for male collectors. Now, these are good for female collectors as well, but what I mean by that is when you hear the word cover girl, it's talking more about an attractive pose, that kind of thing. Anyway, it's a limited edition type figure, and I might be wrong on that assumption. I've got some other statues that I'll show you, and you can make the judgment on it. But I'd really like these figures because they really enhance my collection, but you know, they're not outrageously priced. Now, I'll try to put up a price of these items on my screen, but I believe they're in the range of between 60, 80, up to 120, depending on the figure and the demand, of course. Usually new, they're not that expensive. And like I said, the great part about these statues are that they do have a lot of detail on them. So I'll lift up Supergirl here. And this is the Supergirl from the new 52, just so everybody knows. So you can kind of see she's got kind of her eyes looking down, her hair's kind of blowing in the wind, kind of a 360 view. Like I said, there is nothing posable. She's got this great base stand. You know, she's got kind of metal in her core to give her the stability. And she is fragile, guys. I will say this. I did drop accidentally one of these figures that I have, and I did break parts of it off. So it's kind of a ceramic statue. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, these were coming out, and I've said before, I don't have all of the DC CoverGirls in my collection. I basically have just a few. Remember, when I collect, I'm not like some other collectors. I don't have to have every single item that the company makes to make my collection complete, but I do collect specific items, and Supergirl is one of my favorite characters. I do watch the Supergirl TV show every Monday on a regular basis. I watch it with my kids. She is one of my favorite characters in the comic book universe. So going back to why you would collect this particular figure, again, if you're looking like me and you just want display pieces, like the Hot Toys and the action figures, they're all great, but they require a lot more maintenance. And what I mean by that is as dust collects in your particular space, I've tried to weatherproof my display cases, but not everything fits in my display cases. So dust does collect. Well, when you have dust collecting on your figures, especially the figures with joints, you do gotta kind of take care of them by dusting them off periodically, just to make sure that everything functions on them appropriately. I mean, you don't want them accidentally breaking because of basically time. And the great part about statues is you just have to dust them at your leisure. There's nothing that's going to get inside them that's going to really break them. I mean, I guess you could theoretically have a lot of dust build up and maybe scratch the paint off them or whatnot, but they're just a great addition to a collection. All they do is basically sit on the shelf, and they enhance the atmosphere that you have going on with them. So looking at this particular figure, she has the different kind of S shield. So not the typical S shield of Superman. Again, this is a new 52 character, and that series has already run its course, and they're in a Rebirth comic books. So a lot of difference. If you notice, she doesn't have a skirt. She's more in a unitard or a leotard. I don't know exactly what it's called. If you look at the gold trim or yellow trim around her cape, that's kind of it's kind of a two-way streak. If you notice that they kind of put a collar on her, and I'll just kind of spin her around, and they did that with Superman as well. And I have one of the new 52 Superman figures, not in this line, but definitely pretty good figure. But they kind of went with a collar on Superman and Supergirl instead of the cape being tucked in to the costume into the neckline. It's more part of the costume in different formats, so they did that a little bit differently. They kept the kind of red at the bottom. It doesn't go through to the back side, as you can see here. It's just kind of a front piece. And her boots, I like the design on her boots. It's a lot different. It goes up to all the way up above her knee with her knees exposed. So you still have some elements of the classic Supergirl boot, but it does go up a little bit higher. And then if you notice in the costume itself, there are some texture. So it's not just spandex type costume. There is texture to the costume, like her shoulder pads and her elbow pads and whatnot. Again, it comes down to personal preference. Is this my favorite version of Supergirl? No, not really. But it's not a bad version at all. I actually really do like the take on Supergirl. That's why I ended up buying this figure. And I like the CoverGirl set too, so it kind of added for me to my collection in that basic genre. Now, I will say most of my statue collection is in the female genre. Like I said, the male versions tend to be easier to find and a lot cheaper, and they're posable in a lot of cases, so I supplement my collection with these female statues and whatnot. And that's a personal preference. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. I am a guy, so I do like those type figures to add in my collection, and I don't feel like they're inappropriate at all. I feel like they're done very, very well, and they do enhance the collection. So if you want to see where I store those collectibles on my shelves, you can go look at my collection video 2018. You can see basically where I store those. Now I do move things around, but for the most part, that's where I do collect them. Anyway, I do have some other figures that are in the statue line, meaning they don't move, but for the most part, that's what these figures are. I picked all of these figures up from Salt Lake Comic-Con. Guys, if you've never been to a comic book convention, they're a great place for you to look at how you want to start your collection. So the great thing about these figures are, if you have kids, or if you have no intention on really displaying them, or if you have an office where you don't want to like over clutter your office, like my office is just full of toys, but if I had a more simplified office where I wanted some things in my office to illustrate my fan fascination, but also want to respect the clutter and the space of my office space, then these statues would be a great resource for you. And like I said, they're not overly expensive, so if you're just starting your collection, you can start with these. You get a 10-inch figure, which is just shy of the 1/6 scale, and you can go big, or you can go small, or you can go specific to the particular collection that you want to show off to people. So this is the DC CoverGirl statue. It's a limited edition, so they only make so many of these. But again, guys, you can get these on eBay. You can get these on a lot of different, for lack of a better word, dork sites. A Big Bad Toy Store sells a lot of these type things. eBay is a great resource. Amazon is a great resource. Or your local comic book shop a lot of times has these type figures. I'll give you an example here in Salt Lake and Sandy. Heebie Jeebies comic book store sells these figures on a regular basis. So again, you can get these in a lot of different places in your local area. So just, do a little research, look at what you want to collect. And they do come out with different lines every year too. So if you don't like this particular model of Supergirl, they do have others in the genre as well. So anyway, guys, that's my video of my DC Supergirl from the New 52 statue. It's a limited edition from the DC Collectibles manufacturer. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is going to be a lot shorter than my other videos because there's not much to the figure. If you like what you're seeing, please like in the comments, share it with your friends, help me get my subscription count up, and as always, make sure you leave me comments, guys. I really need comments. Not for any, like I said, I'm not making any money on these, but I want to do better videos for you, and I don't want to be like everyone else, and I think I've really stepped it up with the backgrounds that I'm doing compared to the other reviewers. I really think it enhances the videos. But if you don't like those and you want me to do something different, please let me know and I will entertain that, or at least let me know what you think and I will respond to your feedback. Anyway, guys, that's this video today. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all your support in these videos. I know I got some loyal fans out there, even though I don't have a huge subscription base, but I do have some loyal followers that do comment on a regular basis, and I really appreciate that. So guys, that's my video today, and I will see you in the next video.